This is Chris Podales. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Podales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw, June 27th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. Now we kick off Raw. Well, we see like a footage from earlier today where John Cena enters into the arena, and he's returning tonight, so he enters in the arena, and you got all the superstars and production people and all of them lined up, clapping, cheering for him. He's coming down, shaking everybody's hands and all that stuff, and getting ready for the show. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then we get to the first match of the night. It was the Last Chance Money in the Bank qualifying Battle Royale. Now you have a lot of people in there. You have you have the Mysterios, you have the Miz, AJ Styles, Riddle, Shinsuke Nakamura, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Dolph Ziggler, Ciampa, Veer Mahan, T-Bar, Jinder Mahal, all of them that was in it. Just so many people. Akira Tozawa was like the first one eliminated. The Mysterios and Mustafa Ali had work on Veer Mahan to get eliminated and stuff. But then we get to one point where there was actually a cool moment with Ricochet where T-Bar actually had Ricochet like about to chokeslam him off the apron, but that man went flying onto the ladders because they got ladders for like Money in the Bank shit around the ring and stuff when it comes to like a qualifying match. So he lands on the ladder and then jumps back onto the apron, and then Hurricane Rana's T-Bar off the apron, which looked pretty cool. But yeah, that's what happened there. Ziggler got eliminated. Shinsuke got eliminated by Riddle, and then it was only leaving a few more people after that. At one point, Miz he got injured when he jumped off the top turnbuckle. Hitting, I forgot who he hit, but he he got injured. He rolls out the ring. Doctors checking on him, referees, and all that stuff while the match is still going down. So yeah, there was still more people in the match, like Riddle, Styles, Ricochet. So yeah, those was the three that was inside the ring. Ricochet got eliminated by Styles, I think it was. And then it was supposed to be the final two, Riddle and AJ Styles. They was going at it. Styles went over the top rope, but then he fought off Riddle a few times, and he was about to jump off to hit the phenomenal forearm onto Riddle, and then all of a sudden Miz comes out from out of nowhere, sweeps his leg, eliminating Styles. And then, come to find out, Miz was injured. He gets in the ring, and Riddle was trying to hit the RKO on Miz, but Miz reversed it into the Skull Crusher finale. And then he was going to eliminate Riddle. Riddle brought him over the top rope with him, so both of them was on the apron. And then Riddle hits the RKO onto Miz on the apron, and Miz rolled off onto the floor. Riddle won the match. So yeah, Riddle is now qualified into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's what happened. It was an okay match. But yeah, that's what happened there. So yeah, with that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. But there's still one more spot for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, there's still one more spot. And apparently later on tonight we'll see some women have a Last Chance qualifying match, elimination match actually later on tonight. Whereas Becky Lynch, Nikki Ash, Doudrop, Shayna Baszler, Xia Li, and Tamina that will be taking on each other as well later on tonight. And not only that, later on tonight we will see Bobby Lashley taking on Alpha Academy in a 2-on-1 handicap match, and Theory will be the special guest enforcer for that match as well later on tonight. But then backstage we see the Street Profits, and they was talking about how they're going to beat the Usos and all that at Money in the Bank for the undisputed WWE tag titles. And then we see John Cena pop up, and he says, "Remember now, y'all are the Street Profits." And he's told him never give up and all that, and the Street Profits like, "Yeah, I never give up." And Cena gets like a new shirt and all that stuff. Well, it kind of reminds me of like the shirt that he used to wear back in the day. I think it was like back in 2008 or something like that, where it was like a video game shirt, kind of, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's what he was wearing, and it's like a new style. But yeah, that's what Cena was wearing. It's like a 20-year stuff, so yeah. But it was a pretty cool t-shirt. But yeah, that's what happened there backstage as well. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Usos on Monday Night Raw up next. So yeah, that'll be next. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Raw.
4th of July week.
So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, we got to talk about some stuff that was going on. So, tonight they celebrating John Cena's 20 years on the main roster on WWE. So, of course, everybody would start sending videos. Like, we see one from Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Trish Stratus, and all them. But then the interesting part was we seen some from Paul White, The Big Show, and Bryan Danielson, which is Daniel Bryan. So, yeah, that was interesting right there. Now, of course, when Paul White sent his in, it went by The Big Show, and Bryan Danielson sent his in, it went by Daniel Bryan. So, yeah. But it was still interesting to see both of them on WWE TV like that. So, yeah. But then we get to backstage with Riddle getting interviewed, and he said he won the Battle Royale. He's going to win Money in the Bank for Randy. So, yeah, that's what he said there. But then we get to the match. It was Montez Ford with Angelo Dawkins at ringside versus Jey Uso. One-on-one. Now, Jimmy Uso was at ringside as well. And, yeah, it was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we seen Jimmy trying to interfere and stuff. He got off the ring apron, and he straight up got ran through by Angelo Dawkins outside the ring. And then Jey Uso comes up with the suicide dive on Angelo Dawkins, taking him out. And then Montez does the same thing onto Jey Uso, but he straight up went like a freaking torpedo, smacking the hell out of Jey Uso, and he throws him back into the ring. He climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with the frog splash, and then pins Jey for the 3 count. So yeah, Montez Ford defeated Jey Uso tonight on Raw. That's what happened.
Alright, Wolfie.
So yeah, it was a pretty good match, like I said. I would give that match 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. But yeah, after the match ended, we seen the Mysterios talking to Judgment Day backstage. So it was just Finn Balor and Damian Priest backstage. And they was pretty much trying to separate Dominic from Ray. Trying to break up that tag team and bring Dominic into Judgment Day. So yeah, that's what their plan is. And then Ray was like, no, we ain't gonna do that crap. How about this next week, us 2 versus y'all 2? So yeah, it looks like maybe next week on Raw we will be seeing the Mysterios taking on Judgment Day in a tag team match on Raw next week. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be the plan. So yep, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, we got to talk about a few more stuff. Before that, we got to talk about how WWE actually did an amazing video package of John Cena throughout his whole career and stuff. It was very good. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Very nice video package of Cena throughout his whole career for the 20 years and all that stuff. But yeah, after that, we got to, Miz coming out, getting interviewed in the ring and all that. And they brought up the topic about Logan Paul and stuff, training to come back into the ring. So it looks like possibly a SummerSlam Miz versus Logan Paul. That's like it's going to be the plan. But yeah, Miz was talking about like how he don't got no beef with Logan. He hit the Skull Crusher finale onto him at WrestleMania because, he had to teach Logan Paul and all that. They said they was talking, and at soon they'll be going after the tag team titles and all that. So yeah, that's what Miz was saying. But then they started talking about AJ Styles, and he was talking about how Styles don't deserve to be in Money in the Bank and all that, and they got their issue and stuff. Talking about Miz's balls and all that stuff, and then Styles comes walking out, and he straight up decks Miz in the face, and then they got a match. So yeah, it was a pretty good match, not bad. Miz was still in a lot of moves, like he hit the running knee at one point, still in Daniel Bryan's move. I think I seen him hit the code breaker at one point too. But then at the ending, Miz was going to set up for the Skull Crusher finale on the Styles, but Styles fought out of it, and then hits the peg leg kick onto Miz. And then after the peg leg kick, he hits the brain buster on the Miz, and then he gets on the apron, setting up for the phenomenal forearm onto Miz, but Miz quickly rolled out the ring and got counted out. So yeah, AJ Styles beat Miz by count out, but it was a nice ass brain buster that he did. I can't remember the last time that a brain buster was used. I think Styles was the last one that used it. I forgot when, but yeah, it was still nice. But yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, Styles won the match by count out. But it looks like this feud will continue on. They'll probably have another match at Money in the Bank or whatever. For this match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was going good up until the count out. I hate count outs, but it's whatever. But then after that, we see John Cena backstage talking to Ezekiel, And Cena was like, "Hey, Ezekiel, where's Elias at?" And then he goes like, "Oh, Elias is showing Elrod, the place and all that." So yeah, that's what he said. And then he was talking about, "John, what should I do?" And stuff, talking or whatever. And then Cena was like, "Just believe in yourself and all that." He goes like, "Okay, cool," and then he walks away. And then all of a sudden, Theory comes up, talking so much crap to Cena, talking about how he's the youngest United States champion and all that. And he goes like, "You know what? I want to take a picture of this moment." And then he turns around, pulling out his phone to take a picture, but John Cena already walked away, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, coming to the ring on Raw up next. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, come out to the ring, and then she was getting interviewed talking about how she'll be taking on she was talking about how she'll beat Carmella at Money in the Bank and retain the Raw Women's Championship and all that. And then Carmella comes out, and she was talking about how she's the baddest chick in WWE and all that, how she'll win the Raw Women's Championship, and how the fans respect her because she won so many titles, like the SmackDown Women's title, Money in the Bank, the Women's Tag Team titles and all that. That's what she was talking about. But then Carmella walked out the ring, and then she tried to come back in the ring while Bianca's back was turned, trying to attack her, trying to kick her in the stomach, but Bianca caught her foot and then hits a forearm onto her, and then Carmella rolled out the ring, and Bianca was holding up the Raw Women's Championship up high. So yeah, that's what happened there in that segment, but it was an okay segment. But then after that, we get to Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss get interviewed backstage, and they was talking about how they was going to win the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this Sunday and all that, become the Money in the Bank winner. And then they was talking about how they would be taking on each other tonight and how they was going to beat each other. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss one-on-one, and we had Asuka on commentary, and it was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we've seen Liv Morgan try to hit her finish move, that little bouncing off this thing she calls Bolivian or something like that, where she comes off the second rope, kind of bouncing off with the flatliner onto her opponent. So yeah, she was trying to hit that move, but Alexa Bliss reversed that move, and then she pretty much dropped her on her knee with the backbreaker, which was pretty nice. And then she picks her right back up, tries to hit the DDT onto Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan rolls through into a reversal, rolling Alexa Bliss up for a pin for the 3 count. So yeah, Liv Morgan defeated Alexa Bliss tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. So yeah, I think this is Alexa Bliss's first one-on-one loss since returning. So yeah, but it was an okay match. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next on Monday Night Raw, we will see Mr. McMahon appearing, and it looks like John Cena will be on Raw up next. So yeah, that will be happening up next. And they had another cool video package of John Cena actually after that match between Liv and Alexa. So yeah, it was a nice video package. But yep, he'll be on Raw up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had Mr. McMahon appear. Now he's in the middle of the ring, and all of a sudden everybody backstage and stuff, like the Raw locker room and stuff, they was all standing on the stage, and then Mr. McMahon introduces John Cena. So yeah, John Cena comes out, makes his return back on Monday Night Raw, and he starts talking about a few things, talking about how, saying thank you to everybody, the fans and the superstars and all that. Thank you for this 20 years with his family and all that. That's what he was saying. He was talking about how he had some great times and stuff like that, and he ain't going to be gone. But he says he knows that he's getting up there age. He's 45 years old, and then how he wants to be in the ring and all that. And then fans started chanting one more match, and Cena was like, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to be more than one more match for sure." So yeah, that's what Cena said. But he said he don't know when the next time he will be in the ring. He said he will be in the ring, but they're just going to have to figure out when. So yeah, That's what Cena was saying. But then he was saying thank you to everybody else. And yeah, he leaves out after that. So yeah, it was pretty good and stuff. John Cena making his return back on Monday Night Raw for his 20 years in the company and all that, which was pretty great. But yeah, and then he was walking out, gave out his hat, T-shirt, and all that stuff to the crowd, and saying thank you and all that, and then walks backstage. So yeah, that's what happened there. But it was great to see John Cena tonight. So I was hoping to see if he was going to be in a match at SummerSlam against Theory, probably, or Finn Balor or somebody. But apparently, that's not the case. It was just him showing up because it's 20 years and stuff. So yeah, that's what it happened. But it was still a pretty cool moment. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, we will see a 6-pack elimination match later on tonight with the women: Becky Lynch, Nikki Ash, Doudrop, Shayna Baszler, Tamina, and I forgot the other person, Xia Li. That they will be in the match later on tonight. And up next, we're going to be seeing Bobby Lashley versus Alpha Academy up next, with Theory as the special guest enforcer. That'll be up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was Bobby Lashley versus Chad Gable and Otis, Alpha Academy, in a 2-on-1 handicap match, and the United States Champion Theory was the special guest enforcer. So, for people that probably don't know what the special guest enforcer is, what happens is you got the referee in the ring, and they are kind of like the special guest referee, kind of, but Theory would be on the outside of the ring, just in case if the referee got taken out. But yeah, he was just there just to be there, pretty much. And it was an okay match between Lashley and Alpha Academy. Of course, Alpha Academy had the numbers game majority of the time, but Lashley was coming back at the ending, it looked like. But then Otis takes Lashley down. He climbs up the second turnbuckle to hit his finish move, that jumping splash off of the turnbuckle. But Lashley quickly got back up, lifted Otis up on his shoulders, actually walking him back and stuff, and then hits the electric chair onto Otis, taking him out. And then Chad Gable jumps off the top turnbuckle, but getting caught in Hurt Lock, and then he starts tapping out to it. So yeah, Bobby Lashley defeated Alpha Academy tonight in the handicap match. That's what happened. But then after the match ended, we see Theory attacking Lashley from behind, and then Theory and Alpha Academy was beating down Lashley. And then Theory tells Alpha Academy to lift up Lashley to take a selfie and stuff, but then Lashley kicks Theory in the ass literally, and then pushes him into the turnbuckles, and then he starts beating up Alpha Academy, hitting the flatliner on the Otis, and then hits a spear on the Chad Gable, and then he was setting up for the spear onto Theory, but Theory quickly got out the ring and stuff, escaping. So yeah, that's what happened there. But for the match and what happened after the match and stuff, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, Cody Rhodes will be having a exclusive interview up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, now Cody Rhodes was having a exclusive interview and stuff. Of course, he already had surgery for his torn pec and all that. So yeah, he was talking about how if he didn't have the torn pec, how he would have competed in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he would have tried to win it and all that and cash in, obviously. That's what he was saying, but he said that he had to deal with an injury now, and, well, he said that will be perfectly fine because he will come back better than ever and all that stuff, and come back and win the Universal title and all that stuff. So yeah, that's his plans. But then he was talking about how he'll actually be cheering for Seth Rollins to win it, because he will come back and beat the living hell out of him for putting that sledgehammer on his chest and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes was talking about. And he was talking about how he knows that how Seth Rollins had the greatest cash in with the Money in the Bank and all that, but he said that he's going to be cheering for him at Money in the Bank. And he was talking about how Seth Rollins gets to be dealing with a lot of people like Omos and Sami Zayn and all of them in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, that's what he was saying. But then we get to backstage and we see John Cena talking to one of the producers or whatever, And then Seth Rollins comes up and interrupts him and says, Cena, do you remember that time when I put my knee to your nose and broke your nose and all that? Starts laughing and stuff. And he still was talking a lot of crap to Cena, talking about, since it's Money in the Bank, remember, I had that successful cash in. Oh, wait, you didn't. You lost and all that. So, yeah, that's what Rollins was talking about. But then Cena's looking up and all that, and then Rollins is like, what are you looking at? And then he turns around, and it was Omos and MVP standing right there. The MVP was talking about, like, Rollins, you don't got a chance in hell when the 7'3" giant wins the Money in the Bank. So, yeah, that's what he was saying. But, yep, that's what happened there. But up next, it will be the main event. It will be Becky Lynch versus Doudrop versus Nikki Ash versus Tamina versus Shayna Baszler versus Xia Li in a 6-women pack elimination match up next on Raw. So, yeah, that'll be the main event up next. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a main event. It was Becky Lynch versus Doudrop versus Tamina versus Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Ash versus Xia Li in a 6-pack women's elimination match. So yeah, that's what it was, and it was an okay match. At one point, the first one eliminated was Xia Li because what happened was she was working on Becky Lynch, but then she got rolled up by Nikki Ash, but she kicked out and then kicked Nikki Ash in the stomach, and she turns around and she gets hit with a manhandle slam, and she landed kind of like pretty bad, like literally almost on the top of her head, but she got pinned to 3, and she was the first one eliminated. And then we go on to the next person eliminated. It was Nikki Ash, because what happened was she was trying to roll up Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch reversed roll up into the disarm her and made Nikki Ash tap out. So yeah, she was the second one eliminated, and they only left Becky, Doudrop, Shayna, and Tamina left. And then at one point in this match, we seen Tamina on the top turnbuckle trying to hit the Superfly Splash at one point, but Shayna gets up there, and then Becky Lynch gets up there. It was going to be a double superplex, but then Doudrop gets underneath her, and then hits a double powerbomb, double suplex off the top turnbuckle. So yeah, they hit that move. And then we seen Tamina lifting up Shayna Baszler for the Samoan drop, but then Shayna Baszler fought out of that, and then it locks on the Cookie to Clutch onto Tamina, and they sat down, whatever, and then that's when Doudrop comes up with the splash onto Shayna Baszler, pins her for the 3 count. So yeah, Shayna Baszler was the next one eliminated. And then at one point we see Tamina hit this Samoan drop onto Becky Lynch. She climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off for the Superfly Splash, but Becky Lynch moved out the way, and then she crashed and burned. And then Doudrop takes out Becky Lynch outside the ring, and then gets back into the ring, and then jumps off the second turnbuckle with a splash onto Tamina, and then pins her for the 3 count, eliminating her. And now only left Doudrop and Becky Lynch. Both of them was going at it. Doudrop puts Becky Lynch on the top turnbuckle. She climbs up there, and then she gets hit with a manhandle slam off the top turnbuckle, and then gets pinned for the 3 count. So yeah, Becky Lynch defeated Doudrop, Tamina, Shayna Baszler, Xia Li, and Nikki Ash tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened, and she has qualified into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is now set, and we still got one more spot for the men's, and that'll be it. I guess. So yeah, that's what happened there. But for this match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. Match of the night, I'll probably say will be this match. If it ain't this match, it was probably the Battle Royale from earlier. So yeah, it was okay. Monday Night Raw tonight was okay. It was great to see John Cena back. This match was alright. The Battle Royale from earlier tonight was pretty good. Styles versus Miz was okay. I just hate when matches ends in countouts, but it's whatever. The handicap match with Alpha Academy versus Bobby Lashley was okay. Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss was alright. But yeah. Montez Ford versus Jey Uso was pretty good. So yeah. That has been Monday Night Raw, and there was probably more stuff, but I forgot. But yeah, tonight's Raw, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay. But yeah, that's been my WWE Monday Night Raw June 27, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Bales, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And follow me on TikTok as well. It'll be down there. And yeah, that has been my Monday Night Raw reviews. I'll be doing my AEW Dynamite reviews this Wednesday and Money in the Bank reviews this Saturday. And I'll do my predictions on Money in the Bank probably Thursday or Friday. It'll be one of those days. And Friday night SmackDown reviews later on too. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.